Hello. Today we're going to take a slightly different look at programming, but in a situation that we run into all the time. So we are in our Learning Python folder, and I want to watch the order book. In fact, I want to see the order book update. So I'm going to use a Linux command called watch. And I'm going to let it run every 5 seconds. So now, as you see the upper right hand corner, you'll see the time update every 5 seconds as it reloads the order book for Euro USD. And here's the problem. I need to fix a bug in the code, but I need to see this to find the bug. I need to do two things at one time on my Linux console. I can't. Or can I? Actually, yes, I can, with the help of a Linux program called Screen. Now, you will have to install it because in most cases, it does not come by default with your installation. Okay, I already have it on my system, but if you don't have it, then you will see it installed. Now, let's actually run it and create a virtual console. Okay, press it there. Now we have a virtual console. Now, let's actually check our order book for Euro USD at a depth of 15. All right, it's working. Now let's watch it. You can pick anything up to 1 second if you want, but because I'm going to be using the 5-second time frame in Oanda, I'm going to want this to update at the level of what I'm going to actually be building. So now we have our order book up and running the way it should. Now I can use Control A, Control C, and create a new console that I can now run an editor in or do whatever I want. So now I'm editing the program, and Control A, Control N, I can go back to whatever other program, in this case my order book, that I have running. I am now doing two different things at once. And as we continue to build our trading bot, this is going to be invaluable. But we're not done yet with the surprises. Because once we bring our bot online, we've got to be able to log out. You can't just leave your computer tied up all the time. That's the whole point of having a VPS. Set it up, let it run, and you log out of it and go on with life. Well, Screen also gives you something else you can do. You can detach. Control A, Control D will detach you from your virtual screen or virtual console. Now, you can actually log out, and the two programs you had running are still running on your VPS. which means when we actually start writing our trading bot and testing it, it can continue to run even when you go on with life and do something else. So now we are back into our VPS, and there's several ways we can get back to what we were doing. Screen minus ls, or list screens, will tell us exactly what we have. Now we can type screen, then minus r, and then that number, or an easy way is screen minus capital R minus capital D. And this will reattach our virtual console to our current screen we are looking at. And we are right where we left off. Control A, N, we're right back into our code. Now I don't recommend leaving an editor open. Always save your work frequently and carefully, because the one downside about Screen is if your VPS is rebooted, it is lost, and whatever you are doing gets stopped. So it's not a long-term permanent situation, but it is the perfect way, say for a week or so, to let something run in testing. Of course, once you finally get to the point that you're ready for your bot to go live, then you put it in the background and let it restart should your server restart. But for testing, running it in the background is a real pain because you miss a lot of diagnostics abilities that you need to fix problems. Diagnostics is critical, and Screen is the perfect tool to actually track and find certain problems. And it's not limited to just two screens. You can have multiple screens. So Control A, Control C, and now I have 3 different screens running simultaneously. This is invaluable all the way around. As we begin to really start building on our bot, this is going to become critical because we can leave the editor open, save it, go to a new page, run the program over and over and over without going back and forth in and out of the editor. Absolutely critical for getting stuff done. So now let's quit this and let's get out of this. I'm going to focus on something very specific. This is all fine and well, but this doesn't tell you anything. What if you want to actually only see the max line? Well, we can use another command and actually get only this line. Now from here, we can actually take and build a little script in your console and actually have this printed out every so many seconds. So we'll sleep five seconds, and then we'll repeat the process. So we have what's called a bash command. If you don't need to worry about learning it because you'll learn it as you need it. But this is just an example. While true, while forever, run the order book, and sleep 5 seconds. And using the grep command, we don't want to see the whole thing. We only want to see the line that has the word max in it. Now we can let this run. And there's really a lot more you can do here. You can only display the numbers when they change, for example. But it doesn't matter because now we need to go make dinner for the kids, go get the kid from school, take the dog out, or lunch, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Control A, Control D, you're done. But what you're doing is still running. So when you can come back to it, when you can pick up where you left off, it will be there still collecting the data you wanted. So let's give it a few minutes to run away and fill up the screen. And then we've done whatever life's emergencies needed us to do. Now we want to come back and see what we have. And we see it actually changed. So the order book support went down. We had a brief little fake out, then it went down again. So what does this tell me about the market? Well, the market's unstable, but the bulls are trying to raise the boundary. And maybe they succeeded. It looks like they did. So now we have a new, higher support than we did. But of course, something came up. We got to go do whatever. Let's exit. Our program is still running. Control A and Control D detaches the screen. Do not press Control C. That will cancel your program, but you will still be detached. And let's say you lose temporary power. Well, because of screen running, you can go back to what you were doing because it doesn't get canceled when you lose connection. Pick it up. There it is. So using a virtual console is a blessing in a myriad of ways. Starting it up and then creating a new screen with Control A, Control C. You can have as many as you want, and you can move back and forth between them with Control A, N, or Control A, P. N for next screen, P for previous screen. There's a lot more you can do with it, of course, and there's a very wide amount of information. It's really a very robust program, and it's a nice one. But you only need to know how to create it, go to the next screen, go to the previous screen, and detach it. And as you can see, there's a lot there. Or if you just want to go with the simple version, there you are. Remember, create a screen, Control A, Control C. Next screen, Control A, Control N. previous screen, Control A, Control P. When you want to detach your screen, Control A, Control D. When you want to get rid of a screen and you're done with it, just type exit. Now here I can press Control A, Control D and detach it, but I'm going to go ahead and exit it. Now I'm going to exit this screen. And now I'm done. If I exit now, I log out of my VPS. If you don't have this program on your server, be sure to put it on there and practice with it a little bit because it's invaluable. And from this point forward, as I go through the Learning Python series, I will be using its features heavily because it is, without a doubt, one of the most important programs in my tool chest. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments below. Until next time.